This next couple, you were able to meet them on the Vemma films yesterday, coming from, when you say started at the bottom, they were below the bottom. They were $300,000 in debt. That's farther than the bottom. And now they have a beautiful home in Scottsdale. They have a beautiful home in Kansas. And they are our wonderful royal ambassadors, Dan and Cathy Sarver.
The sky comes falling down for you. There's nothing in this world I wouldn't do.
Hi, everybody. In 2005, we got a call from Ruth and Jeff Elliott. They just called to tell us a story. It was about Jeff's prostate. That was a very interesting story. To most people, that wouldn't mean a lot, but that story has carried us through a lot of time in our business. We initially only got on product to be a customer virtually, and I say we, I meant Dan, because in my mind, Dan had a prostate, I didn't, so why should I go on the product? It didn't make sense to me. Plus, we were in a business for 10 years, another nutrition business. So we already had our career in our minds. We were making low six-figure, we were paying our bills, but we were not getting out of that debt. A lot of you saw our video Thursday. We had a whole lot of very bad debt. It wasn't good debt, it was bad debt, and if you know what I mean. So we thought we were doing okay, and eventually we thought we would, catch up with that. But we kept on product for a while, and after a couple months, Dan went off the product, because again, we had our own nutrition business. So Ruth kept calling us every few months, and thank goodness, that's the point I want to make. When you have customers, treat them like gold. So many people come in as customers, as you know, and some of them transform and come into affiliates. We did not have that intention at all. So when Dan went off product, she didn't freak out, and she called and she said, I know this may not be of interest to you, but this is what's happening. I just want to let you know you will lose your spot in 1 week. So you won't have that spot that you have, and I've continued to build. So you have just a little volume there. And again, it probably doesn't mean anything to you. And I said, well, what are you really making? We had a company with over 100 products, and with one product at that time, just Vemma. I said, there's no way that they can be making that much. We were thinking maybe we could recruit her into our business. Well, she was making around $24,000 a month at that time, and that really perked up my ears, because we were making about half that. So we said, you got to come down and tell us about it. So do keep your customers on a tweak list where you check back with them every month or two, and keep them updated on what's going on. Brad, our son, had the same issue. He was on product for 6 years. We never pressured him. We never went out of our way to say, you should do something. You're missing out. However, 2 years ago, when he decided to get involved in the business, we were at Star Ambassador for 3 or 4 years. We were had been stuck at that level. And when he came into business and really saw the light, then that's what pushed us onto Royal. So do not ever let your customers, do not forget them. And a big part of our base, that prostate story got us to presidential in 1 year. We told that story so many times, over and over and over. And back then, we focused on the product, and it was like golden. Stories sell. That's the other thing I want you to know. And so the second point I was going to make is when you come into the business, whatever your previous history, your work history, you need to really wipe the slate clean. I compare it to being like our granddaughter, Alex Michelle, who's 14 months old. She's watching her parents and watching everybody very closely, and she's like a sponge. And trust me, whatever she sees, she's going to replicate. She's going to duplicate that. So be like a toddler. Just wipe the slate clean. Don't say, oh, I know how to do this. I've done that. And my time is up, so I'll give it over to Dan. Thank you.
Thank you. Cathy is the emotional, I'm the emotional one, she's the practical one. We met, we fell in love. I said, after a month and a half of dating, I said, you know what, I feel like I have fallen in love with you. And she said, that's nice. But anyway, hello, buenos dias, buenos tardes, bonjour, bonsoir, guten Tag, buongiorno. Yeah, well, for South Africa, goed gandit. At Sweden, god dag. Dzień dobry, dzień dobry. Ni hao ma. Good day, mate. The purpose of that was we are gathered here from all over the world and internationally too. No, the reason is all of us, regardless of age, sex, black, white, yellow, brown, in 50 countries around this world, I would submit to you that we have a common trait, and that is most of us in this room crave for, long for individual liberty and freedom. Can I get an amen? That's what brings us together. That's the commonality. And BK has assigned us the significant task in 5 minutes of sharing something that may have an impact on your life and you should leave with that may touch your life. And ours is human nature, what you and I will run into regardless of who we are, because we run into the same things. And the first thing is not belief about yourself, but I have to ask you to reflect for a moment, think quietly in your chair. I'm asking you because you're a volunteer army. I'm not your boss, I'm not your manager, I'm not your micromanager, you're a volunteer army. I'm just asking you if you would kindly consider something. Right now, reflect in your heart, your mind, your soul, your spirit, deep down in your heart. If you know about these clinical trials, if you know about the extraordinary relationship we have with Dr. Oz and Children's Health Corps, if you know that in the past we've had an extraordinary relationship with the Muhammad Ali Parkinson's Foundation, if you know that Dr. Oz has been intimately involved with us, if you know that the Pediatric and Wellness Center at Cleveland Clinic and Dr. Roizen has been so favorably impressed with us, if you know that the World Anti-Doping Association, the International Olympic Committee, when they've looked at our data and they were one of the few substances that passes all their urine testing, when you know that these clinical trials are so conclusive in terms of anti-inflammatory properties and immune function, if you know these things, if you know we have these relationships with the Phoenix Suns, if you know these things deep down in your heart, if you truly know them, do you finally, after this weekend, finally have that belief you've been looking for? And if you have that belief, then I must ask you, do you in your heart, soul, mind, and spirit, do you know and understand and really believe that everything of noble endeavor, everything worthwhile in life, regardless of the field, takes 3 to 5 years? Can I get another amen? The reason we say that is because most of the content of our phone calls we get from people across the country, guess what, every week is, you know what, I've been at this, it's not working. How long have you been at it? 6 months. I've been at this a year and a half. I've been disappointed. How long have you been at this? I said, do you believe it will take 3 to 5 years? Because it will. Now, some people you've seen today are making a good living in 1 year. That is wonderful. But to build something of lasting value with integrity, durability, sustainability, something you can pass on to your children, your grandchildren, it will take 3 to 5 years. So if you believe that and you understand that, then you must ask yourself 4 tough questions. Do we have the maturity? Do we have the vision? Do we have the integrity and the discipline? And finally, do you and I have the guts to stay with something of noble integrity for 3 to 5 years? If you and I do, then saddle up and ride this pony into the 21st century, because It's one of the few things in life you can put your heart, soul, mind, spirit into and know that the integrity, the credibility, the sustainability is there for you to hitch your wagon to the star. If you've been with us for a while, stay in the saddle. If you're just looking at us, get your feet in the stirrups, ride this saddle, and always stay in the saddle, always stay in the game, because one thing Cathy forgot to tell you, we're going to close with two thoughts. When Ruth and Jeff called us, Ruth said, I don't care. I'm neutral. I have no agenda. But in 1 week, your auto ship, if you don't restore it, you will lose your computer position for life. And we go, what the heck, we'll stay on it. Guys, had we not done that, 1 more week, we'd have lost $2.7 million. Stay in the saddle. Stay in the saddle. Know that you're hitched your right wagon, because my dad missed opportunities to be with Sam Walton in 1950. He also lost opportunity to start manufacturer rep opportunity with WD-40 in 1950. Last thing, as far as discipline, can you all give your prayers to Desi from Milwaukee? She was badly shot in Afghanistan, bad pain management issues, and she's here today. Bless you. Yeah.
Let's give it up for Dan and Cathy.
Nice job. Good job, man. Good job.